welcome to the DC Overlord channel. I'm the DC Overlord, and today we are going to be doing something quite special as this channel is growing very rapidly, very big, very quickly. And I want to do a Q&A video where I answer a bunch of questions either asked by you or stuff that I've just included anyways, because I just want to make sure that we have a really good, fun time answering all of these questions. So, that's what we're going to do today, and I hope you guys will enjoy this, because this is going to allow you to get to know me a little better. So we'll start off with the first question, which is, what's your name? I guess you guys want to call me something that is not the DC Overlord. It is a little bit dramatic, yes. If you want to call me anything, you can call me Ruby. That's R-U-B-Y or R-U-B-I, I don't care. But you can call me Ruby if you so choose. That's not my real name, but it is a name that I go by. So it's my online name that I use. So if you want to call me anything, you can call me Ruby. I'm also fine with the DC Overlord or the DCO, whatever you kind of fancy. And yes, I am female, if you didn't know that. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that. Okay, so let's get into some of these questions now. First of all, do you think the Flash movie is going to make $1 billion? Not only do I think that the Flash is going to make $1 billion, I think there's a strong possibility that Blue Beetle will as well. Will Aquaman be any good, and will Aquaman make $1 billion? I think it depends on the trailer. If the trailer is what I think it is, it has potential of being really good, but there's a lot of people that are skeptical about Aquaman 2. For a good reason. I think Aquaman 2 is going to be safe at $500 million. I don't think it's necessarily going to make $1 billion, but I think it's going to be safe. I don't think it's going to flop. I think it's just going to make enough to call it a day. So I don't think it needs to make $1 billion either to be good. I think you can have a good movie that doesn't make $1 billion. I think measuring whether or not something is good based on whether or not it makes $1 billion doesn't really make any sense. Okay, so that's that. How do you feel about Shazam/Shazam 2? Okay, I don't think that Zachary Levi is the problem when it comes to Shazam. I think it's Jeff Johns, because previously, before the New 52, Shazam was a very mature character. He wasn't really, he didn't really act like a kid. And then the New 52 happened, and that's when he started acting a little bit more childish. And so really, those who don't like Shazam and Shazam 2 don't like the New 52 version of Shazam, which is fair. But I don't think I don't think that's Zachary Levi's problem. And I don't think that's Zachary Levi's fault. I think if Zachary Levi was told to act more serious, he would have. But I think the problem is that when you have Jeff Johns running the show, you're going to have the New 52 elements. And Jeff Johns did run the show for a bit. And he gave advice to the people who were making these movies, and so people thought that he was kind of the right source to go to. And let's be honest, there are people that absolutely hate Jeff Johns' work, and Jeff Johns has a few good storylines. I don't think Captain Marvel is one of them. I think Shazam 1 was great. I think, really, Shazam 2, let's be honest, it should have either been Mr. Mind or it should have been Black Adam. I think seeing Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman would have actually been a good movie. I don't think we're going to see that, but it would have been good. I think that would have really been the play, is to have both of them in the same movie. And I don't know why we didn't do that, but, you know, it's kind of like whatever. So, what are my opinions about the DCEU? It's kind of like what I've always said. I do have some criticisms of the DCU. You know, it is a mess. There are some great films in there. But I think a lot of it is disjointed from the actual DC universe, right? The people who love Man of Steel and those who love Batman vs. Superman don't love it because it's a comic book movie. They love it because it reminds them of Nolan, it reminds them of Zack Snyder, and, you know, that's okay, but you have to acknowledge that the DC Comics is not really like that, okay? The only one who writes like that is, like, Frank Miller, and that's it, okay? Most people don't write Superman like that, and it's for a very good reason. It's not very popular, it's not very liked. People like it when Superman has kind of the wholesome side. And it doesn't mean that everyone has to be good. It doesn't mean that everyone has to not kill people. It just means that Superman shouldn't, or at least in most scenarios, Superman shouldn't. You know, I think people kind of see everything as an attack against Snyder. I don't have anything against Snyder. I think he can do a really good movie. I think Superman might not be the movie for him, though. I think he would make a very good, like, Thanagarian movie. He could also probably do a really good Authority movie. It's, like, really his kind of movie. But I don't think Superman is one of them. Because I think, ultimately, Snyder has a particular style when he tells, like, his movies. Like, all of his movies kind of go the same way, you know? And so that's why I already kind of knew where Man of Steel was going to head. I kind of wished it didn't, but I knew where it was going to go. And there's nothing against Henry Cavill either. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I acknowledge that he wasn't given a lot to work with. Could he have done a phenomenal Superman? Yeah, he could have. But unfortunately, he didn't get the chance to. And honestly, I feel the same way about Brandon Routh. And Brandon Routh is a tremendous Superman, okay? But he has a bad movie. See, people kind of think that everything is against Cavill. No, it's not just about against Cavill. It's about these actors getting bad Superman movies. Like Christopher Reeve. You know, Christopher Reeve had great Superman movies, and then you have Superman 3 and 4. So, it's like, you can have a really good actor play the best role possible, and you can still have them do a bad job. Because there's more to a movie than just the actor. There's the script, there's the directing, there's the CGI, there's the production overall. There's so many things that alter how a movie is going to be perceived. I don't even think Joss Whedon's Justice League was that bad. Okay? For a man who had like 2 months to turn over a project, using the scraps left over from Snyder, and turning it into a feature-length movie, no director can do that, okay? That is the fault of the old regime at WB, okay? That's not really Joss Whedon's fault. I think if Joss Whedon was given the proper time, like 2 years, to make the Justice League movie, he would have done just as good as Snyder. But the problem is he didn't have 2 years. The problem is he had 2 months. And he had to turn it around. He had to meet the deadline. Otherwise, you know, WB was I don't know, probably going to fire him. And, you know, when you get the chance to do a movie like that, you really don't want to, like, mess it up. Or you don't really want to, like, you know, waste that opportunity. Because if you think that it would have been a waste of Superman, but, like, if we never saw a Justice League movie at all, you know, maybe everything would have been different. And, you know, I do think they should have taken a lot more time to refine Justice League, not rush it out, but they were trying to catch up with Marvel. And it really didn't work, because the DC universe is a great universe, when you have all the characters fleshed out, I think the real crux, though, was not Justice League. I think the crux was actually Batman versus Superman. I think that in killing Superman and introducing Doomsday, they made a fatal flaw. Because there was only one way the story could go once you killed off Superman, and that is to bring him back. But also, it's the fact that we have a Trinity movie before we have a Batman solo movie, before we have a Wonder Woman solo movie, and barely a Superman movie. If we had a little bit more focus on just the Trinity solo movies, and including, even a Man of Steel 2, before we got to Justice League, it would have been a lot better. And in fact, if we had done movies like on The Flash and Cyborg and do everything the way that it was supposed to go, it actually might have been a really good way to do it. But there was a few things that was not great. First of all, killing off Steppenwolf right away, bad idea. There's so much better storylines when you keep Steppenwolf alive and you make him go back to Darkseid a loser. Because those who know the comics know that Darkseid can be absolutely ruthless. And that didn't translate in Joss Whedon's universe. At least, it had the potential of setting that up. In Snyder's version, there was no potential. Darkseid was essentially wasted, and it kind of made Darkseid dumb in a way, the way that Snyder did it. I'm not saying that I hate Zack Snyder's Justice League. I actually like the Snyder Cut, but I can acknowledge that there were a couple of issues with it. I think that is valid to understand that, yes, I can like a movie, yes, I can like a project, but I can also acknowledge that there are going to be flaws, and there are big flaws in the DCU. But I'll put a pin in that for a later time, maybe. Let's see, next question. What obscure characters do you want to see in the DCU? There's a lot. I think if you do the DC universe right, you have a lot of fun characters to work with. And I really think that if anyone's gonna do the obscure characters and also make them popular, it's gonna be James Gunn. I think the reason why the Authority works with James Gunn's vision is because he has done those obscure groups before. And I really think that under the production of James Gunn and his crew, with the right director, with the right writers, you can make all of these projects work really, really well. The problem is that some of them rely heavily on having good writers and a good director. And we all know what happens when a director doesn't do what you want him to do. So, we'll see. Because I think some obscure characters that I really love to see. First of all, Cassandra Cain done properly. I don't know who the heck was in Birds of Prey, that movie, but a proper Birds of Prey would be really good. Have Barbara set it up, have Huntress and Black Canary, the real Black Canary, the real Huntress, the real Cassandra Cain, not those whoever they were. I think having Renee Montoya would be good. I think even having Kate Kane would be good. Doing her properly would be a really good thing to do. And I think there's kind of a few different ways you could go. I mean, I would love to see Mogo included in a Green Lantern movie. I think that's a high possibility. I think you don't do a Green Lantern movie without including Mogo at this point. Mogo would be absolutely amazing. If you don't know who Mogo is, it's a planet. He's a planet. He's a planet he's a Green Lantern, but he's a planet. So Mogo would be absolutely epic. And of course, y'all know, I would love to see Donna Troy. I think Donna Troy done right by a good director would be phenomenal. But only if she's done right, because she has not been treated well recently. Oh, at all, actually. But yeah, that's kind of a few of the obscure characters I would want to see. What is my favorite and least favorite DC projects from the announcement? Now that's a little bit tricky, because if it goes in the way that I think it goes, there's a lot of favorites, right? There's a lot of potential for these projects to be really good. Of course, I love the idea of a Superman Legacy movie, and I also do like, I think Batman Brave and the Bold is going to be really good as well. I think the ones that rely on really good writers is going to be tricky. I think he can do it, but it is going to be tricky because, for example, Paradise Lost has the potential of being the best DC show of all time. But it really relies on someone who truly knows the comic books, that truly knows the Wonder Woman comic books, that truly know George Perez, the rise of the Olympians, that kind of feeling. Because in order to do Paradise Lost correctly, in a way where everyone is going to love it, is to really focus on the Amazons and their lore, because this is all leading up probably to the birth of Diana, so being made from clay and everything. But you need to see the struggle of Hippolyta and raising her people, raising her army, training them. And we really need to see Philippus, Artemis, and Hippolyta shine as main characters, and the villains need to be as compelling as well. And yes, we need to see all of the Olympians, but specifically we need to see Zeus, Hera, Athena, Hades, and honestly, we probably should see Hermes and Hephaestus, okay? So we should see those characters, and Ares as well. But really, we need to see Hephaestus forge the armor that is supposed to be Wonder Woman's armor. Because initially, the Hephaestus armor was actually for Hippolyta. So you could forge the armor and have Hippolyta wear the armor and show that it was her armor. And so then you would have the competition, and Wonder Woman would win the armor and take the armor for herself. Mother passes it on to daughter. And that's where you have the Wonder Woman armor really mean something. Is that it's not only for Diana, it was used by Hippolyta. This was her armor. And she's giving that to her daughter, who is going to be the hero of Themyscira, who's going to be the representative of Themyscira. And also, you have to have some really good villains. Cersei should be set up in Paradise Lost. I think she's going to be. I think you can't really do a Paradise Lost show without including Cersei in some light. You have to kind of set her up to be a big villain, and then later you have a Wonder Woman versus Cersei movie. I think also Medusa would be a really good pull, of course. Medusa, very well known, very great character, and very entwined with again, the Paradise Lost kind of thing. I think you have Heracles, not to be confused with Hercules, Heracles, and you really show his domination over the Amazonians. And kind of showing I think people think this is going to be an only women show. No, the Amazons are only women, but there's very strong possibilities of seeing some very important male characters as well. So really, it really depends on kind of how fleshed out this ends up being. So Paradise Lost, again, I'm excited for Paradise Lost, actually, if it's done the way that I think it will be done. I think the least favorite, I would have to go with... I kind of have to go with Swamp Thing, because I think Swamp Thing could be good, but there's a lot of evidence that Swamp Thing isn't good. I think the way that Swamp Thing can be good is if it includes some Justice League Dark members, like Etrigan, or like Zatanna, and stuff like that. But I think if it's only a Swamp Thing movie, like it only a Swamp Thing, then that might not be great. It really depends on kind of the direction that the story is going to go in. I have some ideas, but I really think that of all of the projects, Swamp Thing is it's kind of going to be, it might be like a middle movie. Of course, it depends. When we see the trailer, it might blow us away, but I think Swamp Thing really is going to rely on someone good. I mean, James Mangold could probably do it. I think he could probably do it. So, at least they have him down, but who knows? So yeah, that would be great. Besides Ben Barnes as Batman, what is another casting for DC you would love to see? First of all, I think at some point we bring Brandon Routh back as Superman. I know a lot of people would say bring Henry Cavill back. I think you can do it, but I think the real pull would have Brandon Routh return as Superman in a Kingdom Come movie. And yes, you can still have Henry Cavill involved. And in fact, I think Henry Cavill could very well be a Red Sun Superman. Or even, like, Ultraman, which is the opposite of Superman. So, like, you can still have them be Superman. But I really think that something that I would love to see... it is kind of tricky because, I mean, I think the next one would be Boris Kojo as Lex Luthor. I think he would do a really tremendous Lex Luthor, but I don't think he's gonna be the pick. I think the Superman actors and like all of them are gonna be people that we don't even expect. I don't even think that it's gonna be the people that people have been saying it is. I mean, maybe, but I think it's gonna be somebody else. I think there's like maybe a few actors that we just don't know about, and it's gonna end up being one of them. Because I mean, I think if the most likely decision is probably gonna be between Corn Sweat and Wolfgang Novogratz, but it also could not be. I mean, it could be somebody else. We don't really know. We don't really know who's auditioning. We don't even know if those two are auditioning for Superman. So it really depends on whether or not they even tried to audition for Superman. Kind of depends. And do I think that Gal, like, I think one of these questions is let me see. Let me see. So we have the Ben Barnes. Oh yeah, who would you want to see be the Trinity? Who would you want to see as the Trinity? I think it really depends. Cause yes, I would love to see Ben Barnes as Batman, but I think if you're gonna go with a younger Batman, I think you go. There's a few people you could go with. There's definitely a few people that you can go with. You know, a lot of people have been casting people as, like, Dick Grayson or as, like, and stuff like that. And I think you have Superman and Batman be about the same age. And that might be kind of weird thinking, okay, but that means he has a kid at, like, 18 and, like, he's, like, Is Damien gonna be like 5? I think Bruce. I mean, you could argue that Bruce just like slept around and he became like a young dad, but he doesn't really know that. I mean, I think you have Bruce be like 30, which, I mean, 20 to 30 is not really a big deal. It's not really a big jump, so it's not like it's gonna make that much of a difference, anyways. But it kind of depends. Like, again, I definitely think Gal should be recasted, just because I think it'd be weird to have Gal be significantly older than Superman and Batman. Although it wouldn't be impossible because, I mean, Wonder Woman is immortal, so technically she wouldn't really age. So it wouldn't really make it that much of a difference. I know people have been saying Jensen Ackles is Batman. Now, Jensen Ackles is past his prime, to be honest. I don't think he should be Batman at all. Like, I don't think that's not gonna be a thing. And then, okay. So, yeah, the Trinity casting is going to be tricky. I don't think it's going to be really anyone that has been mentioned, but it's also possible. It really depends on kind of the way that they're going to go about it, honestly. Who is your favorite and least favorite DC characters? My favorite DC character is like Wonder Woman and Donna Troy, and also Barbara Gordon. I just have really fallen in love with those characters just through their comic books, through their storytelling. I just really love them. And I think if they're done right, they can be really great characters. But they have to be done right. My least favorite DC characters is, I mean, I don't really have least favorite characters because, I mean, everyone kind of plays the role. I think the obvious answer would be Guy Gardner, but who likes Guy Gardner? I mean, everyone serves the purpose. I don't think I necessarily have a least favorite character. Like, I know people complain about the variants a lot, like the Supergirls and the Batwomen and everything. But honestly, I think they play equally good roles too. It's like, I think really my answer would be my least favorite DC characters is the New 52 versions of the Trinity. There you go. What is my favorite movie and show? I guess non-superhero movie and show. My favorite movie of all time. It's kind of between. It is non-superhero movies. The Princess Bride, I think, is a good answer because I could watch The Princess Bride 5,000 times and still not get bored. Yeah. My favorite show? Probably One Tree Hill. Yeah, probably One Tree Hill. It just has, well, that or Wizards of Waverly Place, but I think One Tree Hill has a slight edge over that. So yeah, I would say One Tree Hill. What is my favorite video on my channel? All of them. You should go watch all of them. Yes, you should go watch all of them. But I think the one that I'm most proud of, I think, is honestly, my DC like cinematic universe, the DC Overloaded episode. I just really had fun with that, honestly, and I think if you haven't seen it, I'll put it in one of the like the card up there, or probably at the end screen actually. But it's a really good video. Definitely check it out. Because it was really kind of just fun to kind of come up with my own universe following the Dark Knight. which is what it is, by the way. It's just if I was in charge of DC after the Dark Knight released, what would I have done? And that's where we have my concepts. So yeah, that's definitely a really good video. Definitely go look at it if you haven't. Who is my favorite actor and actress? My favorite actor and actress. It kind of depends. Yeah. I mean, technically, okay, my favorite voice actors would be Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy. I think on the female side, probably Susan Eisenberg. I really love Susan Eisenberg. And just there's a lot of great voice actresses. Great, Delise. Sure, she is really good. I really love her as like Daphne and stuff like that. My favorite actor though. It's not Ben Barnes. It's not Ben Barnes. I don't know. It's kind of a good question. I think I go with actress. I think I actually go Keira Knightley. That might be a little bit unpopular, but I don't think I've seen a bad movie from her or a bad role for her. That or Amanda Seyfried. I really love Amanda Seyfried. She's just a great person in general. Favorite actor. Honestly, maybe Robbie Coltrane. Rest in peace. Or you know what? No, it's Alan Rickman. It's Alan Rickman. Yeah, it's Alan Rickman. Rest in peace. Who was the first superhero I ever saw? Probably Superman. Because even before the animated series, like all of that, I saw Super Friends and I saw like the original Superman animated series, like not Timverse, but like Fleischer, I think. Yeah, like that one. Like not Fleischer. It was the one after that. Yeah, it was like it was like the Super Friends style, but it was like that was like the first superhero show that I ever saw. So, yeah, that. Favorite superhero movie. My favorite superhero movie. I think it's Superman 2, the Donner version. I love the theatrical version, especially with certain scenes, but the Donner version is definitely the better version of the movie. There's kind of no question about that. Well, I think the problem is really that, when the other director took over, he went a little bit too campy, so it didn't. There was a major difference between Superman 1 and Superman 2. Although I still think Superman 2 was still better than Superman 1, even with the theatrical version. Just having Zod, I think, really sold that movie. And that's the way you really do Zod, to be honest. No offense to Man of Steel, but never really felt like Zod. I mean, you could never do better than Terrence, what's his name? But other than that, I would say the Suicide Squad 2020. Yeah, probably that one. Also I like the Batman and also the Joker. Dark Knight is definitely up there. But I think for me, I kind of liked the Batman more than the Dark Knight. I know, blasphemous, but I think on one hand, the Batman would not have existed without the Dark Knight, so let's not conflate the two. But I think story-wise, I liked the Batman better. Was it super comic book accurate? No, that was not Riddler. But it's like, eh. Now, in terms of animated movies, that goes to Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, one of the best DC animated movies. Yeah. And then favorite superhero show? Justice League Unlimited. For sure. It's not even close. Sure, in live action, live action? Live action. I need to binge watch superhero. So see, things I need to binge watch Superman and Lois. I haven't done that yet. I need to do it because I'm only on like the second episode. But I definitely want to. I definitely think that has the potential of becoming one of my favorites. Live action DC animated DC show. Maybe Arrow. The thing is, there's some things that honestly, Arrow is kind of underrated. Yeah, I would say Arrow. Honestly, it just feels good to watch Arrow. No, it's not comic book accurate, but it's pretty darn close. It also is a good way of kind of evolving a character to live action. Like, I don't think DCU Green Arrow should be like that, but it does have its great moments. What's a project you really want to see eventually in the DCU? Eventually, I want to see this eventually Wonder Woman Rise of the Olympians. If you haven't seen that video, that's also one you should look at, because I kind of talked about this comic book, one of my favorites, but let's be honest, the one that I really want to see eventually Blackest Night would be fucking amazing. Since you have the DCAU memorized, what are your favorite episodes? My favorite episodes? Oh, my favorite episodes to watch. Okay, we can go show by show. For Batman the Animated Series, I would say Almost Got Him. Definitely one of the best episodes. Superman the Animated Series, technically speaking, I would say World's Finest. But if we're gonna go only like the solo episodes, it's kind of gotta be. I think I would go. There's actually a lot of great episodes in Superman the Animated Series. I think I would go. I think I would go Apocalypse Now. No. I would go. Oh, there's so many great episodes though. I think I'd go Legacy. Yeah, Legacy is a good one. There's a lot of great episodes. Justice League, I would go. Maybe The Terror Beyond. Secret Society. Wild Cards. That's a tough one. Oh no, I would go Brave New World. Justice Lords, yeah. I would go Justice Lords. Maybe Secret Society too. There's a lot of them. Justice League Unlimited. Mm, grudge match. Yeah, grudge match. I think. I love this. I love Alive and Destroyer though. Those are really great. Um, I think Batman Beyond. If we're not including Epilogue, I would go The Call. Yeah, The Call. It's just it is a really great way of doing that. But yeah, those would be my picks for the DCAU favorite episodes. There's a lot of favorites though, to be honest. That's why I have it memorized. How do you feel about the DC animated movies? I think they're all good. Well, no. I think I think some of them are really good, and some of them they make changes that are kind of questionable. Honestly, the major flaw of the DC animated movies for a while was the fact that they were New 52 movies. Let's not be let's not beat around the bush. It's really the New 52. I think now that we're in the Tomorrowverse, they're all gonna be just great movies. I mean, the only problem that I had with Legion of Superheroes was the villain, uh, which if you know, you know. I just didn't love how they went about doing that. Where do you see this channel going by the end of the year? This channel was purely experimental. I did not intend for this to like blow. I already have a YouTube channel, right? I've been doing this for a while. But I wanted to see if I could do a YouTube channel only about the DC universe. Just about the DC universe. And this was really just an experiment. And it's been really popular. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to see where it goes, where it grows. Maybe we can get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I would really love that. That's never something that I've been able to accomplish, and maybe this is the key to doing that. I would really love to do that and really make this kind of a way to make income. I'm not looking for this to become a job, not yet, but if it does, I'd love that. I would love to just spend my time just talking about the DC universe. And you know, it doesn't have to only be the DC universe. I can talk about other things as well. But if this is the channel that really blows up, I really like that. I really like that indeed. You know, I used to kind of just do a little bit of everything. And sometimes that can be kind of tolling because sometimes I don't want to do those things, you know? And so being able to do something that I'm really passionate about, that's something that I will always be kind of grateful for. And if this becomes that, I really love that. Why do you dislike Grace Randolph and other critics? I used to really like Grace Randolph, you know, beyond the trailer and everything. The problem is she's a hypocrite, and also she lies a lot. Well, she doesn't lie, she just makes up stuff and reports it as if it's true. And she's gotten into a lot of drama, with different directors and everything. Like, she got into a whole thing with Kathy Yan, and she pretends to be like big fans of the comics, but whether she's read the comics or not, I don't know. But sometimes her criticisms come from just bias and like her random hate for Jessica Chastain. It just is kind of weird. It seems more like just petty drama, like a drama channel, and when it becomes that, like, I don't know. I mean, I stopped watching her after the Birds of Prey review. So that was kind of the last straw, but every now and then I check in, and sometimes she still has stupid takes, but it is what it is. Honestly, the reason why I don't like critics is because they think that everything has to be for them. So they hate a lot of family movies. They hate a lot of kids movies. And it's like, I am someone who is willing to watch like a kids movie. Like, I'm not afraid, but I understand it's not necessarily for me, right? I understand that what I'm going into when I go to see a kids movie, like when I go to see a Disney movie, when I go to see like Shazam 2, like I understood what I was going in to see. Maybe people didn't expect that, but I did. So it's like I always kind of put myself in the shoes of what the audience is supposed to be, like what this movie is supposed to be about before. But I think most critics don't really do that. They only go in looking for a movie for them. That's why they hated Super Mario. That's why they hated Despicable Me. It's like you only go in for something that you're looking for, and you're surprised that it's not meant for you. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Besides DC, what other fandoms are you passionate about? I think DC level of passion would be Elder Scrolls and Mass Effect. I think those are really the only three that I'm super passionate about, to the point where I could talk your ear off for. Like, I like Harry Potter. I like Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson is definitely up there. The books, not the movies. There's no movies. The books. But, like, there are things that I really like, but I'm not necessarily passionate about. Like, I wouldn't make a whole channel about that topic. Like, DC is really the only one I can do that for, because, yes, I could probably make, like, an Elder Scrolls channel. I could probably make, like, a Mass Effect channel, but at some point, I would kind of, like, run out of content to make for them. But DC, I don't think I could ever run out of content to make about DC. I have so much to talk about, so much, like, videos that I could do that... And it's very easy to do, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I just use PowerPoint to do the videos, just because, one, I don't really like editing anyways. Two, it makes it really simple and easy to talk about. And three, I don't think these videos have to be, like, high budget or anything. I don't think I need to spend money on an editor. I don't think I have to spend money on really anything, because most of it, the more important part is me just talking about, like, everything. So, like, as long as you guys enjoy that, I'm here for it. And also, YouTube Shorts really help, but we'll get into that in a moment. What are your favorite comic books that you've read? Rise of the Olympians. I would also say Blackest Night, one of the best storylines. Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis, I love all of the crises, honestly. I don't think there's been a crisis that I really disliked, although some of them are kind of random, but I digress. I would also say The Killing Joke is chilling. I think I have a lot of love for the Birds of Prey storylines, especially by Gail Simone. There's just a lot of great comic books, honestly. If you could have a superhero, what would it be? If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Teleportation. Yep. Who is your favorite comic book writer? There's a few. I would say the best one, Paul Dini and Dwayne McDuffie. If you could make one location in the DC universe real, what would it be? Well, not Gotham. Not Metropolis. I would say the Hall of Justice. Oh my gosh. But I think actually I would say I'd say Themyscira. Why not? An island of just hot women? Yes, please. What would you do? What would be the next DC video game you would most want to see? Okay. Superman is kind of an obvious pick. I think other ones that I would want to see would be like a Teen Titans like video game, or like let's say a Starfire video game. Maybe something focused on like Nightwing or like the Robin or that maybe there's, well, actually, I guess we technically already got that. I would like to see an Oracle movie. An Oracle video game, not a Batgirl video game, but an Oracle video game. I think playing as the Oracle and kind of doing like a hacking video game and kind of showing like her training like the new protege, that would be kind of cool. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the Wonder Woman game made by Monolith, so that would be really cool to see. And of course, I am looking forward to being able to play Suicide Squad. I think it'd be great because it's seeing Kevin Conroy for the last time. It's gonna be emotional, but I can't wait. What would be a DC TV show that you would pitch? An animated Birds of Prey show. What crossovers do you think DC should do with their movies and games? DC and Marvel, I think a proper Mortal Kombat and DC game. Or movie. Honestly, seeing Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the live screen, I think it would be actually pretty cool. Do you have any advice for people who want to start their own YouTube channel? Just focus on one thing. Like, I think, honestly, I think that being able to focus on one thing allows you to put everything that you have into that. So, find something that you're truly passionate about, whether it's DC, Marvel, whatever. Make YouTube Shorts. The thing about YouTube Shorts, actually, I don't know if people have realized this, but I actually do. What I do is that I see how a video is performing. Because if a YouTube short is underperforming, it usually means it didn't make it to the YouTube Shorts shelf. And so what I'll do is I will just re-record it, delete the first one that failed, and just re-record it. And what's interesting sometimes is I would do a video and it goes completely viral. And then I do a follow-up video to that and nobody sees it. And so people think that the one that went viral is my main opinion. No. I just keep whatever goes viral. So it's not my fault if a video goes viral and it doesn't have my actual opinion. Look, you have to play the game in order to win it. So, I think you have to. Yeah, the thing is, the better your stats are, the more you'll be recommended, the more you will get traffic and everything. And so, really, it ultimately does pay to sell out. Even if you think it's wrong, even if you think you should never do it, it really does make a difference. So, yep. And that is all of the questions for this first video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned maybe a little bit more about me. I'll definitely do more of these Q&As. So if you want to leave questions down below in the comment section, do so. And I might address them later at some point. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for 60 subscribers. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.